morning, I guess everyone with Everything Embroidery Market. We're so happy to be here today. I'm Christina, and of course we have Miss Hope Dale. And today we are chatting with Richard from sewingmachine.com.
Hey,
Richard
everybody, how are you?
Yes, we're so glad you're here. Richard's a longtime vendor, sponsor, just all things for Everything Embroidery Market, and we really appreciate having you here today. So thanks for taking some time to chat with us.
Well, thank you, and thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, so we just wanted to hop on here and tell you guys a little bit of, I guess, all the things that Richard's going to be bringing with sewingmachine.com to the Everything Embroidery Market. But before we jump into that, I'll just tell you real quick, Myrtle Beach is where it's at. So the next show is going to be at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center, September 22nd through the 24th. Less than a month away. I cannot believe it. So if you guys have not signed up, go ahead and do that. You can go to eemshows.com and sign up. You'll see a list of all the vendors that are going to be there, all the classes that we have available, and it's going to be fun. So with that being said, Richard is going to be joining us on several different occasions, or someone from your booth will be joining us from several different occasions, teaching a variety of different topics. So I guess we'll just start with class number 1, if you're okay with that, Richard.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's see. So on Friday, so at 11:30, you guys are going to be teaching multi-needle machines, tips and tricks. Tell us what that class is about and what people can expect.
Well, that is a multifaceted class that basically incorporates some things that are very important when using a multi-needle machine. There's several parts of that class. The first part goes through some very important maintenance things that you need to do with any multi-needle embroidery machine, talking about bobbins, talking about needles, talking about oiling, and some of the basic maintenance things that you want to be prepared for when dealing with a multi-needle embroidery machine. And then once we talk about that, then we kind of transition into things that you're going to need and things that you can get to make your life easier. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want to do. We want to work smarter and not harder. And so there's always different ways that you can do things, and we like to educate you on what some of those things are. For example, we'll talk about some new thread that's in the industry. We're going to and why you should use certain threads. We're going to talk about embroidery backing, and that's very important to make sure that you use the correct backing for your application. And then we're going to talk about some different hooping aids, from everything from mighty hoops to clamps to jerky hoops. So we're going to kind of go over the benefits of all of those and let you see what you can get and what you can use when you're working with your multi-needle machine to help enhance and make your life a little bit easier.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be really great. Whether you are thinking about getting a machine, or if you have one and you are wanting to say, maybe I should try these other hoops, or maybe there's something I'm just stuck doing the same thing. I need a little bit of help to help with my process and be able to be a little bit more productive with my machine. I think this is the class for you. And I didn't mention it earlier, but Richard knows his stuff. You've been in the industry for quite a long time, and you've had the benefit of being able to see what works, what doesn't work, and that along with all your customers coming in and sharing with you the different, hurting points of their business, you've been able to help them work through and process. And I think that that's something you'll be able to go through in the class. So,
well, absolutely. It's even simple stuff such as where to properly oil the machine. Did you lose me?
You're kind of cutting out a little bit.
I don't know what's going on. It's kind of great on my side. But can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay. So even if it's something simple as the proper place to oil the machine, or when to oil the machine, or when to change a needle, those things sound easy, but it's very important that you make sure that you get them and do them correctly. So So yeah, it can be very intense or it can be very simple, but it's all good information to help you, throughout your process.
Right. It's all about making things streamlined so that it's the easiest as possible. So I think that's going to be a really good class. And
Yep.
On top of that, so you actually, so sewingmachine.com doesn't just sell sewing machines. You guys have all kinds of different goodies that you guys, just in the decorating industry, period, that people can use. So that kind of brings us to our next, uh-oh, did you hear me?
Go ahead. I'm still there.
Okay, good. I'm here. You're still
Okay.
frozen, but we can still hear you. So
Okay,
that
great.
brings us to our next class, which is at 1:15 on Friday, and that's embellishment, sublimation versus digital transfers. So what are
Yes.
you guys going to be chatting on?
So, that is a very common question that we get here in the store. I get people coming in all the time saying, want to decorate something. A lot of times I'll say, oh, I want to decorate a t-shirt. And I'm like, great, that's fantastic. We've got equipment that'll help you. But then they'll say, sublimation. And I'm like, well, sublimation is a great process. It does fantastic as for what it does. If you want to do t-shirts, that's not the route I would go. So a lot of times there's a lot of misinformation on, on the best way to embellish or decorate an item. And what I do with that class is I kind of break it down and basically focus on both sublimation and digital transfer printing. Both are very, very good processes, but they're very, very different in the outcome and the way it works. So I try to focus on both of those to educate the people in the class to know which route is better for them, so so they're not surprised and they start doing something and they realize, oh, I can't really do that with sublimation, or I can't really do that with digital transfer. And so I try to make sure they understand the ins and outs and what's involved. What's the cost involved? What are some of the consumables that you have to have? The paper, things like that. What's the wearability and the washability? So I try to go through both of those, all those scenarios with the difference between sublimation and digital transfer.
Yeah, and I think that's really a unique opportunity. I think when people, like you said, are like, hey, I know I want to decorate a shirt, they go on Google and they're like, oh, well, that works. That's what I want to do. But they don't realize that there's so many options and they don't have a way of comparing and contrasting what the best option for them is. So you doing that
Absolutely.
class and just being able to compare, see the differences firsthand, see the machines, hear the pricing, hear what maybe they could sell for, what all those different aspects are available to you in person, and then being able to ask questions specific to their business or their hobby or whatever it is they're wanting to use it for is huge. So I know people will really enjoy that class also.
Always very popular and fun. It's fun to do. So absolutely.
And then you have all the machines, I guess all of those things back in your booth. So after the class, if they want to go check out some of those machines, you can do that too, which is always a plus.
Try to keep the machines set up, ready to go. Have embroidery machines there. We'll have printers there, heat presses, basically, all the stuff that we're going to talk about, we're going to have set up there, along with all the other stuff that goes with that, whether it's supplies and accessories or paper or thread, or whatever that you need. We're going to have that.
Right, which also is kind of a unique opportunity. So not just are you learning the process, you can see it being demoed in real time, touch and feel, and that just adds a whole nother dimension to it. So you kind of get a really well-rounded, I guess you can make a well-rounded decision. So
yes, that's right. Well, that's the most important. I would hate for anybody, I would hate for myself to go and buy something not fully understanding the capabilities and then get home and realize, wow, I just spent all this money, whatever I spent, and it's not really going to do what I wanted it to do. I don't want that for myself. I certainly wouldn't want that for anybody else either. So.
Yes, and we've heard that people will buy something online or whatnot, and then they get it and then they feel intimidated to even try it. And then it sits in the box in a closet for months and months. And that's not what we're here for. The everything embroidery market partners people like you, like sewingmachine.com, who loves to make sure that the right product gets in the purchaser's hand so that it can be used. That's what it's for. You're buying it so that you can use it and be productive and make it an enjoyable process from start to finish. So
absolutely. Because at the end of the day, we're not trying to, we're not trying to sell a box. Well, obviously, we do want to sell equipment, but we want you to be successful too. And so that's why, that's kind of the reason that sewingmachine.com is as successful as it is because of, we're trying to educate you and teach you and help you throughout this whole journey of, whatever you're doing, whether it's a business or crafting or whatever you do, we're there to help you be successful.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so that's it for Thursday or Friday. So Friday we have those 2 classes. And then when y'all aren't in the classes, you will be in the vendor hall. I guess, even if you're in classes, someone will be in your booth being able to demonstrate and do all of that. But on Saturday, we have more things from, I guess, with you guys, starting with our vendor panel. So we've talked about this a couple times in previous lives, but I just get pumped up about it because, again, it's such a unique opportunity to be able to get access to so many different minds, all the different across all the different aspects of the industry, and you gain a perspective that you wouldn't be able to gain otherwise. So our vendor panel, basically, we've got several vendors up at the top of the room, just answering questions and having conversations with the people inside. So the class is really geared to what you guys want to hear. And then you're going to learn what Richard thinks. So Richard says, you know what? From my perspective, from someone who works with machines all day and sees the customers all day, my perspective is this. And then you'll hear Stephanie from Caesar. So someone who works with vinyl and is, very creative and actually does a lot of the creating of the product vinyl wise. This is my perspective. And then Lisa Shaw, my perspective from the digitizing side. Again, everyone's in the industry. They talk to people like you all day long. And it's just a really unique way to hear, just to learn from each other and network. So we appreciate it.
Absolutely. And it's nice to hear, to get their ideas. And, it's a good way to learn. It's a good way for the people on the panel to learn as well. Because, you're up there with your peers and you're getting, it's always good to get, somebody else's ideas and the way they do things, to help you to enhance what you do. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I always walk away energized and excited. And I love watching the connections that are made in that class. And then you watch them walking around the trade floor later together with someone that they met in the class. And it's fun. It's exciting. And I love it.
And it's a challenge, too, because some of the questions, even though when you think about it, you're like, well, these are going to be easy questions. But some of the questions can actually be very challenging. So it does challenge the people in the vendor panel to make sure that they're not just repeating what the person beside them is saying, but yeah, some of them can be kind of challenging. So it's a lot of fun.
Yes, it is. And I'll try, if I'm having to facilitate any questions to start y'all out, I'll try and make it a good one. I'm starting to think already. Okay.
Well, I think in Chattanooga we had some very good ones. So that was
that one was electric. Like all of the atmosphere, like everybody was excited and all of the questions ping-ponged off each other. And I feel like everybody was into it. Not only were were y'all on the panel actually like just pumped, but so was everybody in the audience. So it was fun to watch. I mean, I felt like I wanted to like jump in and I'm like, no, wait, this is like, it was fun. It was fun to be a part of.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that class, the vendor panel, is at 8:30 on Saturday. And then following that class, we have sewingmachine.com teaching a Creo Digital Transfer 101 class. What is that?
Okay, so digital transfer is very, very popular now. And I think, in my opinion, it is, it really is a nice addition to garment decorating. It's low maintenance, it's easy to do, and it's gives you a lot of flexibility. But it does require a few steps and a little bit of a process. And so this class basically introduces you to the Creo printer, which is the #1 digital transfer printer on the market, and it walks you through step by step how you're going to create a garment using that printer. And we'll actually, in the class, we'll actually create shirts in there. So it basically takes you from start to finish, creating your artwork and having a finished product at the end, and shows you step by step. So again, if you're thinking of getting into digital transfer, or even if you have a digital transfer and you're not really sure how to use it effectively, this is the class that you need to take.
Yes. And that machine, there's so much you can do with it. I've had the opportunity to watch similar, displays of this, and every time I've seen it, I'm like, ooh, it could do that, and it's really, really neat to watch it work, and then you come away with beautiful images, which, like you said, some other application processes have limitations that this one doesn't. So,
absolutely. The other thing about the Creo is we kind of focused even in this live session on talk about the fact that it'll do shirts and fabrics and stuff like that, and it does. That's the strength of that machine. But what we haven't mentioned is some of the other things that it can do, like hard surface items. You can take that Creo and do your hard good items. You can take that Creo and do temporary tattoos. So while the strength of it is going to be garments and fabric, there are other things that you can do, and we will discuss that with both the class on Friday and the class on Saturday.
Right. And I love that because especially this is going to be in September. This is next month. That means people like you are gearing up for the holiday season. So using a technique like this can set you apart. If you're doing craft shows or you're doing something around your local school, those temporary tattoos are going to be a big hit for you. And you could do a temporary tattoo with a matching bag or whatever it is, all with this same machine. And that's like, it sets you apart because you can be just as creative as you want to be.
So, absolutely.
Now that brings, go ahead.
No.
Okay. So that brings us to our giveaway, our big one. What do we have? No.
Sewingmachine.com is working together with ISW, and we're going to give away a Creo printer at the show. So the Creo printer comes with a bundle. You get the printer, you get the transfer rip software. It has toner in there. It has paper. It has basically everything that you need to get started, and you get training is included. And so that is going to be the grand prize for the show from sewingmachine.com, a Creo printer.
Yes, and that is huge. Someone's going to walk away with this bundle that can be like, it's going to change your whole business. I can't tell you how excited that I am that you guys are offering such a wonderful grand prize because, like I said, it's so versatile and it's just super exciting. Someone's going to get their hands on that and just be able to just open up. It's going to open up everything.
They're going to take it up a notch or 20.
20, yes.
Absolutely. For those people that were just thinking about, maybe starting a business or running a business, so hopefully this will get them kickstarted. Or for those who already have a business, this will be a great addition they already offer. So.
Yes.
And in time for the holidays, like they'll be able to fire that baby up and just start going to town.
Yeah. And I love that you guys are including the training because like you said, hopefully they've taken your class and gotten some basics and then talked to you in your booth while at the show. But sometimes you get home with a new machine and you just need that little bit of extra support so that you can really get going. And that I feel like is almost priceless, just having a way to continue your education. So
absolutely, I agree. Well, we would never give away or sell or whatever. We would never, throw anything out there without doing any training. But we feel really strongly about this product. We think that it is, a great addition to the things that are out there for the industry, and so that's the reason that we chose the Creo to be our giveaway. So
yes, well, we really appreciate that, and I know whoever wins that's going to be like so pumped.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
I wish we could enter in the drawing.
Yes,
but I know it'd be frowned upon.
Oh man, that would. I will live vicariously through whoever wins.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
If it just so happens that whoever wins lives like 2 doors down from you, I'm going to be suspicious. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. My mom's working.
Yeah. Absolutely. So,
okay.
But, we really appreciate working with EEM. We love you guys, and you always put on you always have, and hopefully that relationship continues. And in my opinion, you guys are probably one of the best of this type show that's in the industry, and so we just enjoy working with you and hope to keep that up for sure.
Well, thank you. Well, 100% we feel the same way about you. Again, it's very clear that you not only offer great products, great machines, great supportive products for those machines, but you care about you care about those people that are purchasing it. Like you said, you're not going to put something out there without that continued education, and that's just huge. So it's more than just the sale. It's about the relationship. It's about making sure that you're comfortable with your purchase and can be productive and feel successful. So that just speaks volumes about you guys. And I wanted to mention too, while we're on that note, you guys need to go check out sewingmachine.com before the show. They've got a bunch of stuff listed on the website, but not only that, you can check out what they have and then bring those questions over to sewingmachine.com's booth and ask them. And like Richard said, a lot of those machines are going to be set up and you can then see it in person. We want you to get as much as you can from this event. And that's the time, you'll be in there with the experts. Take advantage.
Yes,
absolutely. And if you're in the South, or if you're traveling through Atlanta, a lot of people travel through Atlanta for vacation if they're going to Florida or for different areas. We encourage you to stop by our store. We actually have 2 locations, and you can come in. You can get a tour of our facility. We have a huge facility with all the equipment set up and ready to go. So you can come in and see our operation if you want to. We get people coming through all the time, and we'd love to give you a little tour of what all we do here at sewingmachine.com. Besides the fact that if you do need your machines or equipment serviced, we can do all of that as well.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely encourage you to do that too. If you're, like you said, traveling from wherever you live through Georgia to
Absolutely.
South Carolina. Come on, stop there, then come join the fun at Myrtle Beach, and it's going to be a really good time. So again, if you haven't signed up for Everything Embroidery Market, please do so at eemshows.com. You can sign up for all of Richard's classes, sign up for that vendor panel because you're going to want to be a part of it. Check out all the vendors that we have available, and then tell all your friends to come because you want to win that machine. You want to win the Creo from sewingmachine.com. And while you're there, it wouldn't hurt to enjoy all the things that Myrtle Beach has to offer. So make it a vacation, travel, have a good time, learn everything you can, come back energized, and I just can't wait. I can't believe it's less than a month away.
I know. Fantastic. Fantastic. So,
all right, Richard, is there anything that we missed that you want us to make sure we mention to everybody? I think
we covered a lot. I'm sorry my video froze. I'm not really sure what happened, but anyway, I appreciate you inviting me to do this, and look forward to seeing everybody in a few weeks.
Well, we look forward to it. Thank you so much, Richard, and check out sewingmachine.com before you head over to eemshows.com to sign up.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.